In this video, we're going to continue to do basic differentiation, and this time we're going to use the product and quotient rules. So to start, let's use the product rule, and I'm just going to denote that as PR, and it says that if you have a function f of x and it equals u times v, then the derivative of f of x is equal to u times the derivative of v plus v times the derivative of u. So now let's do an example, and let's say we had a function f of x is equal to 9x squared plus 4x times x cubed minus 5x squared. And to find the derivative, we're going to use the product rule. And of course, we could expand this using the FOIL method, but that would likely take longer. So for the product rule, we want to think of this term right here as u, and we want to think of this term right here as v. So for the derivative of f of x, we would first multiply u times the derivative of v, so it would be 9x squared plus 4x times the derivative of this, so 9x squared plus 4x, and then for the derivative of this, it would just be 3x squared minus 10x, and we got that using the chain rule. And then for the second part, we would do v times the derivative of u. So x cubed minus 5x squared is v, and then the derivative of u, we would use the power rule again, and we get 18x plus 4. So in this example, we use the power rule, and all you have to do to get the derivative is just simplify this and add up the like terms. Alright, so now we're going to go over the quotient rule. So I'm going to denote that as QR, and the quotient rule is used when you want to find the derivative of the quotient of two quantities. So this rule says that if f of x is equal to u over v, then the derivative of x is equal to v times the derivative of u minus u times the derivative of v all over v squared. And notice that it's v times the derivative of u minus u times the derivative of v. So there's a certain order that you have to follow. And if you were to switch the order around and put this quantity first, then that would change your entire quantity as a whole. And so this is different than the product rule, because for the product rule, you can add up these two quantities in any order. So if we had an example, f of x is equal to 2x squared over 3x to the third plus 2x, we could use the quotient rule, and we would think of this, the numerator, as u, and we think of the denominator as v. So for the derivative of f of x, we'd first do v times the derivative of u, so 3x cubed plus 2x times the derivative of 2x squared is just 4x using the power rule, and then we'd subtract u times the derivative of v, so minus 2x squared times the derivative of v is 9x squared plus 2. Once again, using the power rule there. And then we would divide all of this by v squared, which is just 3x cubed plus 2x squared. And all we would have to do to get a final answer is simplify all of this. And those are the product and quotient rules that you need to do basic differentiation.